Yes,
carry
sir.
on your
Oh,
presentation.
sir. Yes, sir. Welcome. Sir, I participated in the first week of April in the Forum 2020. During that workshop, I noticed that many of the young researchers expressed their view to learn the statistical concept through SPSS. So for this
Yeah.
purpose, I have selected a testing of hypo through non-parametric test. Just it is intended for the budding researchers to harness their skills. So
Yes.
mainly in this session, I would like to discuss the principle of non-parametric test and how these non-parametric tests are used and how we can run some of the selected tests. There are many non-parametric tests. I will not be able to discuss all. Few of them I will be discussing which are useful to the young researchers. As we are aware that there are parametric tests and non-parametric tests. Those who are already in the field of research, they know about the student t-test, ANOVA, F test, etc. All these tests are based on the assumption that the data are independently distributed and normally distributed, and they are measured on a ratio scale, and they should have each of these group have homogeneous variance. So if these assumptions are violated, we cannot use the parametric test. So we are using the non-parametric test. So when these assumptions are violated, mainly about the normality and homogeneity of variance, we go for the non-parametric. Non-parametric tests are also called as distribution-free tests because they do not assume the data follows normal distribution. The main feature of non-parametric test is that they are analyzed using ranks. Means they are analyzed based on the arranging the data in ordered series. And the analysis is done through median rank. In parametric tests, say for example in student t-test, we were comparing mean of each of the group. So whereas in the non-parametric test, we compare the groups using median. And these non-parametric tests are appropriate when we have got small samples. In most of the time studies, when we are conducting a studies, say for example, customer satisfaction survey, or in clinical studies, conducting of pain score, etc., these data do not follow the normal distribution. So therefore, we have to go for non-parametric tests. There are some advantages of non-parametric test and there are some disadvantages. The main advantages are that it is based on small sample, they are useful for ordinal data, and they are not susceptible to outliers. If outliers are there, we don't get a good result in parametric test. So these are the advantages. These are easy to calculate. And there are some disadvantages are also there. Because if we are dealing with a small sample size, we require a special statistical table. This is the case when we are doing the manually. So nowadays we are using the software. So this question doesn't. And the most important drawback is that we cannot accurately find the power of the study of the in the non-parametric test. So if your study is based on the power of the study, parametric tests are preferable. Even if the data do not follow normality and this one, you can try to transform the data, and then based on the transformed data, you can check whether data follows normal. Okay, when we start the data, see all these parametric tests and non-parametric tests arises in the context of your data analysis. So when we are analyzing the data after having collected the data, they have to answer over the research question first. So in this section, in this regard, we should very clear about our research question. It should not happen that we collected large mass of data, we have software, so we run this test, any result. No, it should not. We have to accurately select the data, identify the dependent variable, independent variable, and define the research hypothesis. So this research hypothesis based on the data, either they have to be accepted or they have to be rejected. So this can be done through statistically by stating the null hypothesis and alternative. So these are all the primary work you have to do before actually starting your data analysis through software or manually. And how these steps are, how these are carried out. Suppose if you refer the any research report, you will straight away see that the results are stated as significant or non-significant. All background materials or background things are not stated. So when you actually calculate this, perform this test, first thing is you have to state your null hypothesis, alternative hypothesis, Alternative hypothesis, you have to see whether it is a one-tail test, a two-tail test. Sample data you have to collect, already you have collected. You have to collect the test statistics such as Mann-Whitney test. And based on this, note down the p-values. When we are calculating manually, we compare the calculated value or theoretical value. So if you are using the software, straight away refer to the p-values. And based on these p-values, you evaluate your hypothesis to be rejected or not. In case of p is less than 0.05, your hypothesis is rejected, otherwise it is not rejected. It is all depends on in your material and method, what critical value you stated to reject the hypothesis. This has to be stated. If p is less than 0.05 or 0.01, whatever you stated at the beginning of the study, that should be taken as a yardstick. And if null hypothesis is rejected, we say our data shows a significant difference. There is evidence that there is a difference in the two groups. If p-value is greater than 0.05, we say there is no evidence to say that there is a difference in the data. This data may be due to chance. And most important thing, whether you go for the normal distribution is a parametric test or non-parametric test, you have to evaluate the data follows the normal distribution. So one of the things it is stated that first see whether your histogram follows the bell-shaped curve, mean, median, mode, or this one. So practically they are very difficult to identify. They are all very subjective method. You can try it using the drawing a QQ plot in this. If all these your values are lying on a 45-degree line, then it is a normal distribution. Still, in order to arrive at it, this is a normal distribution or not, you needs to be expert. So best thing is, in this case, you go for a non-parametric test of Kolmogorov-Sirimow test. So using this Kolmogorov-Sirimow test, you identify whether your data follows normal distribution, or you can test whether you have homogeneity of variance using the Levin statistics. So how it is tested, you can SPSS, you can see, you arrange your data, go to the descriptive statistics, go for the explore, you select the explore for this function. Then once you click on the explore, you identify your dependent variable, that is the quantity variable for which you want to verify it. Factor, if there are more than you are comparing two groups, you take it here and factor list and check this here normality of plots. So you have to select the plots, under the plots, check the normality of plots, and for Levin test, you click this one and transform. It will give the results of Levin test and continue. So this is the result we got. So this gives the normality for experimental group. The data here, age of the persons we are comparing is divided into experimental group and control group. So here we can see that P is less than 0.05. So if P is greater than 0.05, then only we say the data follows normal distribution. Otherwise, if P is less than 0.05, the assumption of normal distribution is violated. So in this case, the data is not following the normal distribution. It is, so we go for the non-parametric test. The assumption is violated. If P is greater than 0.05, then only you go for parametric test. Otherwise, if this assumption is violated. Similarly, in case of test of homogeneity of variance, Levin test shows P value is greater than 0.05. So this equality of variance is upheld. So you can go for it. And coming to the various non-parametric tests, first thing is you consider your dependent variable. Either it should be a scale, interval scale, ratio scale, or ordinal scale. You convert it into a discrete variable, and the comparison done using the median. All this comparison. So you compare. We have got this non-parametric test for one group, two groups, and more than two groups. So in case of two groups, the data may be of independent sample, two separate groups. Dependent sample means where the two set of observations we are comparing, each of them, they are made on the observations are made on the same person, or we may have more than two groups. It may be independent and dependent. So mainly I will be discussing now non-parametric test for two groups, independent sample and dependent sample, and more than two groups. They are the most commonly used techniques or tools used in conduct of research. Now start with the Mann-Whitney U test. So Mann-Whitney U test is basically a parallel to student T test for independent sample. Here observations are made separately on two groups. and we want to compare median of two groups are similar or different. The main purpose is comparing medians of two independent data sets. Let us take an example. In this conduct of non-parametric test, first you have to sort your data, combined data, mix your data set, arrange, increase them in the order them, and rank each values. If there is any type, take the average of these values, find the sum of each of the column, T1 and T2, and find